All right, question number 2 from Aaron Wiles. That's at Aaron Wiles 7. Is Doug Pederson's seat getting hot in Jacksonville? And this is an interesting situation. There are a few different things at play here. Number one, you've got an owner who has made the playoffs once since he bought the team. That was in 2017 in Doug Marrone's first year. This is an owner who's generally been patient. Now, his first coach was out of there very quick. He fired Jack Del Rio after getting the team. He had Mike Mularkey for a year, decided to hit a hard reset. Then he gave Gus Bradley and Dave Caldwell 4 years. Then after that, after firing those guys, he gave Dave Caldwell coming back, Doug Marrone promoted, and Tom Coughlin coming in 4 years to see out their plan. Then Urban Meyer was for a year. Obviously, that was a train wreck, so he had to hit reset again, held on to Trent Baalke, and now he's gone to Doug Pederson, who's in his third year. The Jaguars, after a really promising start to the Pederson era, have backslid in a bad way. Wild card around that first year, looks like Trevor Lawrence has turned around and is on track to become the sort of prospect and player that we thought he was going to be over his 3 years at Clemson. When we were all projecting him to be the first overall pick, it looks like the team is coming together. And somewhere along the lines, things came off the rails last year. They started 8-3, which looked like a continuation of the momentum from the year before. They finished 1-5. They're 0-3 now, which means they're 1-8 in their last 9 games. They also have a roster that looks like it's rewarded a lot of good players with great money. Christian Kirk, Cam Robinson, Josh Allen's really good. I think he'd probably be a core player on most teams, but he's being paid at a very high rate too. Tyson Campbell. So I think, if you're Shad Khan, you got to look at this plan. Where's the momentum? It's not in a good place. Where are those players you've paid? Again, they're good, not great players. And you have to think about where you're at and where you're going. And one of the places you're going is to a completely renovated stadium where you're going to need to sell suites, you're going to need to sell sponsorships. So that can add another layer to everything that's going on. And you need credibility to do that. Is the current group giving you credibility? The other element, they go to London for 2 weeks, a couple of weeks from now. So they'll play 2 division games against the Texans and the Colts, playing an angry Texans team, and then a Colts team that I still think is pretty good. And then they'll play the Bears and Patriots back to back in London, another place where Shad Khan has really invested. So if they go there 0-5 and they come back 0-7, now are we talking about a situation where you've embarrassed Shad Khan? And a lot of times billionaire owners will react when they're embarrassed. So all of these things I think are in play with where Doug Pederson is. Does the owner need credibility? Is the owner embarrassed by what he'll be bringing to and back from London? Does the owner feel pressure from a business standpoint to have something better now with some of the realities that are ahead for the franchise as they move into a period where they'll be out of their stadium for a couple of years and then going back into a completely renovated stadium? I think all of these things can be in play. And so I think Doug Pederson is under a lot of pressure over the next month to get this thing turned around and show some real progress. And I think another thing that is, an element here is the relationship the Khan family has with Bill Belichick. When they hired Doug Marrone in 2017, one of the guys they leaned on for advice on that was Bill Belichick, who has ties to Marrone through the Bill Parcells tree, and has built a relationship with Tony Khan over the years, Shad Khan's son. So I certainly think this is one where Belichick could be looming the same way he is over a couple of NFC East teams, and certainly a situation that bears watching, and an attractive situation for another coach coming in that you've got the quarterback in place, teams in Florida, owners shown to be patient in the past. They really have something to sell there. And, if you want to get a young quarterback turned around, there's the pressure to do that too, which can be a drawing card for a guy who really, after everything he's been through, would still believe in Trevor Lawrence.